Oh, it still doesn't seem right having to actually regard Donald Trump as the president. You keep thinking, no, that's not real. It'd be like if SpongeBob SquarePants was the president. You think, no, he can't take it seriously. But you know these votes are going to keep happening now. I keep feeling there's going to be more and more. At some point later this year, there'll be a referendum on whether we should all have a red hot poker up the arse. And on the day of the referendum, the opinion polls will show not a single person thinks we should all have a red hot poker up the arse. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, Dimbleby will be in his studio going, "What an extraordinary result. Who could have predicted this? Look, this is just coming from Worcester. 89% say we should all have a red hot poker up the arse." What do you make of that, Paddy Ashdown? When he was first elected, lots of commentators and politicians made statements such as, well, we just have to hope that once the president takes office, then the gravity of his new position forces him to understand his responsibilities so that he seeks to unite the world rather than create divisions. And it's possible this was a tad optimistic, because the pace is so fast now. You know that by the end of April there'll be an executive order that burqas are only allowed to be worn if they're full of wasps, and whoever comes last in Miss World has to have Piers Morgan as the king for a year in a palace that they pay for, and Islam will be abolished unless they invent a new prophet who has magical hair and ascends to heaven in a golden lift. This would be no less logical than his order that, to safeguard America against terrorism, no one is allowed to enter the United States of America if they come from one of the countries that he deems to be Islamic terrorist, including anyone who's fled the country deemed to be Islamic terrorist. Now, this does make sense, because even if you've run away from an Islamic terrorist country, some of the Islamic terrorism will probably have rubbed off on you, because Islamic terrorism is contagious. It's like the mumps. Now, to be fair to Trump, he has proved liberal in some areas because he has exempted certain countries from the ban, such as Saudi Arabia. Now, some people have suggested this is because he has business interests there, but I expect that's because it's a whole 15 years now since anyone from that country has flown a plane into a tower, so it only makes sense to let them off. Now, the Saudi government does also provide oil to the United States of America and buys billions of dollars worth of arms off them, so it's possible that this is connected as well to them being exempted from the list of places where people are banned. But if that's the case, that's reasonable, as long as Trump introduces a chart so that we know how much oil and weapons have to be traded in exchange for how much terrorism you're allowed to engage in. For example, 1 million barrels of oil and a contract to buy 12 fighter jets must be worth an explosion in a city centre. But less wealthy countries could maybe just buy 1 tank, and that allows them to have 1 madman waving a knife in a local branch of PC World in an industrial estate until they're led away by security. But there do seem to be quite a lot of protests, even in little towns, about him now, and there was an online petition that got hundreds of thousands of signatures to stop him coming over here on the grounds that he would be an embarrassment to the Queen, which I'm not sure he would be, because I would imagine the Queen will be thinking, him and Philip should get on fine, then I can have the morning off to watch Cash in the Attic.